that announcement that NVIDIA and ARM are not going to go forward with the merger. So the pressure from the regulatory bodies was basically too great, because there were investigations started in the US, UK, and even on the European Union level. And as you can see here on the article from Forbes that I have up, they mutually agreed that they were going to walk away from the acquisition, and ARM is going to go for an IPO within SoftBank's fiscal year, which ends in March 2023. So ARM gets basically really independent and gets a lot of fresh money for fresh R&D, and I found it pretty funny that ARM is Forbes is here saying that ARM is actually very profitable when you think about the situation with ARM chips. Basically, all our phones, all our phones have ARM chips in them. So, and even I am recording this on an ARM machine actually, because I am hosting my streams via M1 Mac, and that's of course ARM based, and it's doing a great job with this. And yeah, so ARM has a huge future ahead of itself, and the rise of the ARM architecture in the past 20 years is pretty impressive, and that it's now competing with high performance x86 chips is really impressive, and combined with its energy efficiency, this is just amazing. And I am looking forward to what ARM is coming up with, and what chip manufacturers like Qualcomm or Apple, or even also AMD, because there was a rumor that AMD is working on a ARM-based SoC as well. So it will be interesting to see. Well, the question is if this is the that reference was towards the Exynos project that they have going with Samsung, because they were working on a Exynos SoC from Samsung with Radeon graphics integrated. I actually forgot to check up on that, because I think there was to have an announcement on that as part of the Samsung event. But now that I think about it, when I checked a review of the new Samsung phones, they were not boasting Radeon graphics, so I have to check up on that. But basically, this acquisition is now officially off the table, and of course, the IPO story for ARM is something that I will be, of course, following, because this is a huge thing in the technology industry, especially also who is going to acquire shares, because yeah, doing an IPO makes you also vulnerable, and because you have to take into account that you are making yourself available for hostile takeovers, and if one big entity just buys your shares, of course there will there will be also regulatory approval, but it could happen. It's not out of the question. So when you make yourself publicly available. So my hope is that ARM is going to be owned by a very broad spectrum of companies and people, and that they will then have a proper foundation to continue their work on great architectures and making them available to the broad IT industry. So that would be my hopes for ARM's future. So staying independent would be the best for ARM and also the best for the industry, in my personal opinion. Because they are basically a provider of the IP, and they are not manufacturers of chips themselves, and therefore being independent, offering basically the concepts to their partners is a good business, as we can already see.